All right, so I think it's probably time, so I'll go ahead and start. Let's see, 7 weeks ago I got married. 5 weeks ago I found out that I'm going to have a baby here. 4 weeks ago I was Santa Claus for Christmas. And then 2 weeks ago I found out I was teaching this class. So I've had 2 weeks to prepare. So just kind of work with me. This will be kind of at the beginning. I'll be getting everything together, getting everything organized. But how do we feel about Canvas? I need some help here. We like Canvas? Yeah. Okay, I'm switching from OnCourse to Canvas this semester, so this is big for me. So I like Canvas, so far so good, but I just want to make sure, if there's any quirks about it, let me know. I'm a novice with the Canvas, but Canvas will be, everything on this course will be found on Canvas, including our syllabus, which I just updated, I just put on to our Canvas site earlier today. So that's all we're going to do, is we're going to go through the syllabus, make sure we're all squared away as far as how everything's going to work. It's a little bit different. I'm changing how I'm doing a lot of my assessments, so I need help as far as making sure that you are not confused by anything we're going to go over today. Once again, my name is Andy. My office is over there in Cavanaugh. It's the building without any windows. I'm on the same level as the tube that goes across the street to the campus center. I'm like in two closets. You have to walk into a closet, then walk into another closet, and you'll find my office. So office 213B, but I try to be extremely accessible, which makes me different than probably most of the faculty, is I do respond to emails. So when I get emails, I will respond to them. So don't hesitate. If I don't respond, send me another one. I won't feel, I won't, be upset with you for sending me too many emails. My office hour is from 11 to noon on Wednesday, but I live 11 blocks from here, so I'm here all the time. So if you're ever wanting to meet for anything, do not hesitate. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to help. And so, that office hour, don't think that that's the only time you can find me. Also, I could be available after lecture. I teach in the same room at 1:30, so that 15 minutes afterward might be a good chance to talk as well. No required textbook. No textbook at all, and so no more costs associated with this class. All right, the overview. This course is a traditional lecture. I don't know if any of you have ever had me for anything, but it's mostly online. And so that's where I have a lot of my stuff is online, a lot of my classes I teach. This here, because it's the first semester I'm teaching it, this is going to be, creating lectures essentially 2 minutes before I come in here. I'll be finishing them. So this will be very much a traditional lecture format. And I realize that that's kind of, hour and 15 minutes of sitting there doing the same thing. I mean, we don't do that at all anymore unless we're binge watching a show or watching sports. And so keep that in mind, that I realize that. So if you don't want to be here, if you don't ever want to come, if you just want to sleep, if you need sleep, I will be recording every single lecture, and then we'll be posting it onto our Canvas site. And I'll figure out, where to put that once I get a little bit more smooth with the Canvas. So keep that in mind. Attendance, it does not matter. I never record attendance. But in a weird way, kind of my memory, before the first exam, I'll know everybody's name. So I used to have bigger classes, like 100 people, and by the end of the semester, I've memorized every single person's name. Why? I guess I care. Maybe it's because I don't look at you as just a number. But with that being said, attendance, I'm not going to sit there and keep track, pass around a sign-up sheet, which people will be signing for other people and all that stuff they see in the history hallway. So once again, lectures, as far as your attendance, your participation, it does not matter at all in terms of your final grade. All right, so let's go over the grading and assessments of learning. So we have 180 total points. 180 divided by 4 is 180 divided by 4?
45. Yeah. 4 times 4 is 16. Get 2 left over, put the 0 on the bottom, times that 4 by 5, 45. Don't worry, it took me a couple of seconds.
Oops. just as I said, there's 240 total points for the semester, of which those are broken down. And so, come on now, come back to us. There we go. All right, so there's 240 points. And so what I've done is I've broken that 240 into 4 different sections. 4 different sections. And so these sections, we got section 1, section 2, section 3, section 4. And so of course, each of these, since we divide that by 4, that's now 60 points each. So each section has 60 points. All right, so every single section has 60 points. 60 times 4 is
60.
60 times 4, 240. So 240 total points. My other class I teach has 160, thus the confusion there. All right, so let's go through this individually here. All right, so for each section, like I said, 60 points. Each section, there's not one cumulative exam on here. All the exams, each exam covers just that content that precedes it. So section 1 covers all lectures from Wednesday till Wednesday, January 27th. So that exam will be held Monday, February 1st in this room at noon. And so the schedule, although we might have that screwed up deal with the numbers I just fixed, you'll see that actually everything's scheduled out. And so it's kind of organized in that sense. All right, so for the exam, every single one of you will have to take the exam. So that's 40 of the 60 points because each exam is worth 40 points. And in the future, in a future lecture, in a future discussion, in a review guide, you'll know what is on exam 1, what's on this first section exam. You'll know exactly what's going to be on it. So all that will come in a future discussion. But from that, we then have what I just call the Section 1 assessments. And so there's 3 different Section 1 assessments. There's Map Quiz 1, which will be held Monday, January 25th at 1:10 p.m. It's pretty darn specific. And it's worth 10 points. Activity 1, the second one, which is also worth 10 points. And that's going to be something that it'll be a variety of things. It'll be reading, arranged from writing whole assignments, papers, typing, making videos. Even hell, if you're from somewhere else, if you're international, maybe standing up and talking to all of us for 3 to 5 minutes. Hell, I've even thought about making food. So if you make food and cuisine and incorporate it into the course, that'll also be an activity. So these activities are going to range. There's going to be so many different options to fit your type, your characteristics, your personality. So that's the activities, and those are also worth 10 points. Finally, we have the online quiz. The online quiz will be available from that last lecture that I teach for this section, which is Wednesday, January 22nd, from that Wednesday all the way until Monday at noon. So you have 4 days to complete the online quiz. What's the online quiz? It's a multiple choice quiz that's essentially the lectures. And so I quiz you over the lectures. So you can watch the lectures as you take the quizzes. You can take them with 50 people if you want. I'm not there when you're taking your online quiz. So you can do whatever you want. But you've got 3 of these. You can complete all of them. But what I'll do is I'll drop the lowest one. So what that means is if you don't want to do the map quiz, fine. Don't do it. Don't come. Don't show. But of course, you're probably going to have to do activity 1 and the online quiz 1. If you don't want to do the activities, if you like doing the map quizzes, then do map quiz 1 and do the online quiz 1. Does that make sense? Because that's the only really different thing here as far as how I'm teaching this course compared to other ones I teach. So you have to take the exam, which is the 40 points. The remaining 20 points is your top 2 scores from these 3 options. Anybody confused? If you're confused, raise your hand. I'll help to get us there. Right on. And so, this is all stuff, these map quizzes, what's going to be on the map quiz? How are we going to do it? Activities, what are we going to do? Are we going to do the food thing or not? All of that I'll explain in depth in a future lecture. You won't be confused. You won't be at the last minute finding out about these things. Next up, I'll go ahead and just kind of breeze through Section 2. Same idea, once again, not cumulative, just the stuff from February 3rd to February 24th covered in lecture. Same deal, same options. Section 3, Section 4, and so on. Further, I just, everything I just described, the map quizzes, activities, online quizzes, exams, when they're going to be, format, all of that I further added here to the syllabus. So just kind of more of what I just talked about. The online quizzes, you'll get 10 questions, and you'll have 20 minutes to do them, which is it's actually a little bit longer than what the studies say is a good time limit for a 10-question multiple choice quiz at the collegiate level. Further, we added the course schedule. Course schedule is kind of another way to visualize when things are due. So week 1, of course, syllabus, intro, then we meet next time, physical geography. Once again, that lecture will be recorded. Then we have the day off. Then we got the next topics, and the yellow just means those are the exam dates. So we already know the exam dates. There's no surprises. Next time is the exam. Well, we all know when the exams are. I see that in the history hallway a lot. Kind of exams sprung on people. Exams and assessment schedule. Another way to kind of visualize each of these sections. So section 1, points, when stuff's due, yada, yada, yada. The grading scale will be updated. So just imagine 240 in place of 180. And then protocol stuff. Canvas. I'm figuring out Canvas, and so I'm going to be adding a lot of stuff as announcements. Is that fine? Does that work? Messages better? Sending it out to you as messages? Like, have you received any of my messages? The one I sent today, maybe?
Yeah.
So you received it. All right. So I don't know. What do you think's better, messages or announcements? Or both? Just give us, I'll give you both. I've got nothing else to do. Questions, comments? This will be different than your typical geography class. This is, K through 12. Your high school teacher, they ruined it for us. It's not going to be all memorizing the whole world, wherever city is, wherever river is. We don't do that. Professional geographers, we don't memorize the locations of all these things. It'll be much more focusing on concepts. With the idea when the next ISIS pops up, or when the next, when the Olympics come around in August, you'll have a good idea of what's going on and be able to explain and understand, okay, well, this is probably why this team's so good at this sport. Other things is people get freaked out by globalization. Look at all, Donald Trump, Mexicans, and Muslims. But I say take advantage of that. There's plenty of opportunity for us abroad. There's plenty of opportunities for you to find jobs and careers beyond the United States. And so this is a good opportunity to learn a little bit about the world beyond our own borders, and hopefully it'll benefit you personally. So I try to also adapt this course to you individually. A lot of you I've looked are from the business school, so I study world economic geography, world economy, so I hope I can relate that to you, as much as I can to help you. So that's the whole idea with this class, is I'm here to help. Because they say that in America we have this geoliteracy problem where we don't know the rest of the world. I would say, one reason is because we're number one, so we don't need to know about everyone else. Number two, we look at the United States, we've got all these individual states, California, New York, and so our news, or nightly news, that's what dominates it. You go to France, it's world news that dominates their headlines. You go to Japan, it's world news. And so I think that's what really is going on there. That's all I got. Questions, comments, concerns? Cool. If you got individual questions, come on down.